How's it going, everybody? We have some exciting news for Btbt to go over. It looks like their goal of 100 million in revenue annualized by the end of 2024 is coming in earlier than expected. We're going to talk about that news, and we also have some news regarding Coinbase and the SEC. So let's get started. If you guys get something useful out of these videos, make sure you like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and let's look over this news. We have some big news for Btbt. They announced even more expansion into AI with this new customer proposal to expand their existing agreement by an additional 2,048 GPUs. So this proposal calls for an additional 2,048 GPUs on top of the current 2,048, bringing them to a total of 4,096 GPUs under this agreement. And it would help the company towards achieving its goal for its Btbt AI business to reach a $100 million annual revenue run rate. Now think about this, okay? They were pulling in 4 million per month as of their last mining update in terms of just the AI. If you annualize that, they're looking at around 50 million almost. So considering this is double the amount of GPUs, you would expect they'd be somewhere around 8 million per month now, once this is all set up, which gets them very, very close to that 100 million annualized revenue run rate. And this was a goal looking forward after 2024. Annualized revenue run rate after a year end. We're already nearly there, and we are not even halfway into the year yet. I do think this AI is going to be heating up for Btbt. I do think they're going to give us some even larger revenue run rates in the future by the time we get to the end of this year. And this is becoming a very large portion of this company. And Btbt is getting a pretty positive reaction on this news, up about 11% today. Other miners are pretty stagnant, if not down for some. And Btbt has so far recently been creating higher lows, but I want to see it create a higher high. I think I mentioned this in yesterday's video. I want to see us break this 260 area, indicating that we're seeing higher lows and higher highs. But this 260 area will be pretty important for Btbt. We had it as a resistance here, and it was a resistance right around here as well. And once we get over that level, our next goal is breaking these EMAs. One negative here for Btbt is because of this recent pull from the peak is we did see a death cross. So if we fail to create higher highs here, we may be coming down and back testing some lower levels. We may again test this $2 level of support, but I've been saying this, any weakness on any of these miners you're bullish on is a buying opportunity. And some people are worried that these miners are going to continue to sell off up to the halving. To me, I welcome that. I think that would be great. I would love to load up on these miners for a little bit cheaper because the big picture still remains the same. Bitcoin is going much, much higher in price over 2024. And after the halving, sometime after the halving, these miners will be posting profitability, and it will be much earlier than the previous cycle. In the last cycle, we had a few miners posting profitability at the very, very tail end. This time around, I think a lot of these miners will be posting profitability towards the middle of the cycle. We should continue to see Btbt ramp up their revenue from AI, ramp up their revenue from Bitcoin mining, and ramping up their revenue from their staking of Ethereum. That is like a snowballing effect that will continue getting larger over time, as long as they don't touch it, as long as they leave it alone and just stake. They are expecting in the upcoming quarter a small profit. They are expecting roughly double the revenue from the previous quarter that was just reported. Now, I also wanted to mention Bitcoin, and it looks like we're breaking this sideways pattern, so keep an eye on what's happening here. And if the market doesn't seem to react too much on that break that we just saw, if we don't really fall farther from there, do keep an eye on this descending channel. The market might be playing this. The market might be reacting to this. We may be due for a bounce and a test of resistance here before pulling back down. This yellow line here is our previous peak. I think it's pretty important for us to hold up our previous peak. I don't really want to see this flip as a resistance. I do think it's a matter of time, though, until we are far past this previous peak established back in 2021. And soon we will be heading back to our recent all-time highs, hitting new all-time highs yet again for Bitcoin. The halving is only 24 days away. You have to be taking advantage of any short-term fear, whether it's the Bitcoin miners, whether it's some altcoins, whether it's Bitcoin. Now is the time to still be bullish on Bitcoin. We also have some news regarding Coinbase. It's not really affecting the stock price too much, but the SEC scores a big win in a lawsuit against crypto exchange Coinbase. This big win is essentially that the SEC's claim that Coinbase engaged in unregistered sales of securities could be heard by a jury at trial. Could be heard. There will be a hearing. This doesn't mean that Coinbase is guilty yet. This doesn't mean that the SEC won. So just be aware of that. While this is, I guess, a minor setback, rather than the judge saying, no, we are not going to hear your trial. The judge elsewhere in that ruling also agreed to dismiss the the SEC's claim in the lawsuit that Coinbase acted as an unregistered broker by making its wallet application available to customers. So that is good to see that they dismissed this claim. I think any big weakness for Coinbase would be a good buying opportunity. I'm not in Coinbase, but I bet it'll do very, very, very well throughout this bull run. They're already posting profitable quarters again, which is very early for this cycle compared to last cycle. And I do think this SEC issue is just going to be a slight headwind for a while. We'll see what comes of it. No one has the answer whether the SEC or Coinbase is going to win. I'm inclined to think Coinbase would win. We have some big backers like BlackRock, and BlackRock tends to get their way. But yeah, any weakness for Coinbase I would see as a great opportunity to add. I have not added yet, but I would consider adding on any substantial fear, say going to the low 200s. I think that'd be a good time to potentially add some Coinbase, start a position. We do have a gap down here right at the low 200s. You know, maybe it feels, maybe it doesn't, but that would be a great buying opportunity in my opinion. It's kind of hard to charge someone for something when there's no clear regulations in place, so I think this is kind of ridiculous to be honest. And here's something else from Coinbase as well. Coinbase revealed to be backing BlackRock's $5 trillion by 2030 crypto game changer, and I talked about this probably a couple videos ago that BlackRock has this big crypto plan. Well, Coinbase is going to be a part of it, big surprise. And of course, BlackRock's IBIT spot Bitcoin ETF is custodied by Coinbase. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think Coinbase will be in some serious trouble here in the future with the SEC? Do you think after the hearing this will just be dismissed? I think this is a bit ridiculous since there's such a gray area here. We have the CFTC fighting, saying that a lot of these cryptos are commodities, so it can be under their jurisdiction, obviously. We have the SEC fighting, saying that these are securities, so it can be under their jurisdiction. I think they need to work together, figure this damn thing out, finally get some clarity here. Maybe crypto can be its own asset class. Maybe it doesn't have to be a commodity or a security. It can be its own complete other thing. I do think they need to figure something out and figure it out soon. The SEC is supposed to be here to protect investors, but in regards to crypto, it seems like that is not what they are doing. Where were they when FTX went down? Where were they with Voyager and VGX? Where were they with the other countless crypto exchanges that went under? They were definitely there to point the blame and say all these crypto exchanges going down, this is why crypto's bad. But let me know what you guys think about BitDigital as well. It's definitely exciting to see their AI side of things continue to grow. This is becoming a larger and larger portion of their business, and it honestly is quickly outshadowing their Bitcoin side of things. Their portion from revenue compared to Bitcoin mining is going to be even larger, and I honestly think that's not a horrible thing. I think BitDigital is a great choice. It gives you some diversification into a Bitcoin miner and an AI play. And the cherry on top is that they hold and stake Ethereum, which I also believe will go up dramatically over the rest of this year. But let me know what miners you guys are watching, and what cryptos are you getting into. I definitely think now's the time to be looking at some altcoins. But thanks again for watching, guys, and I will see you on the next one.